Hi everyone, let's discuss the correlation of nitrogen with lush leaves. I just said lush leaves, but nitrogen helps the overall health of the plant to avoid mutated leaves or stunted growth. More than any other component, that is phosphorus, potassium or the trace elements, nitrogen, in my opinion, is the main thing. So I am using a high nitrogen fertilizer. But let's discuss what happens when you overuse a high nitrogen fertilizer. In my case, you are seeing my moon shadow first. It's a very good cutting and which grew out to be a nice specimen that has the full variegation still to this day, right? And the cutting matters. Always the cutting matters when you buy a Hoya. But my Hoya Obawata in a variegated, you will see now, is losing its variegation. It's becoming less and less. Some leaves has it and some leaves doesn't. For a variegation to be consistent, it has to be more variegation or the same variegation than the previous leaf. Okay, it should be visible with more variegation or the same type of variegation in the new leaves for that variegation to continue. If it doesn't, and if it is less and less, which means you are giving too much nitrogen to your plant. This is why people use a balanced fertilizer, whether it's 1-1-1, 18-18-18 or 20-20-20. However, the NPK ratio is balanced as per the digits. Here in my moon shadow, the specimen is doing fine. I am inspecting it, right, when I have to, and it's doing fine. All the strands are doing fine. But lately, this one leaf has somewhat of a less amount of variegation, which is not a cause for alarm. But when you see inside, there's one whole reverted leaf, one green leaf, right? What the seller advised me to do was to just take off that leaf, right? It is a new shoot starting from there, so whether the shoot comes off or not, I will be taking off that leaf. Right? That is one method to keep away the green leaves happening too much in your vine. You have to nip it in the bud. But if it is too late for you that your plant has fully reverted, what you can do is to pick out that variegated strand only and then to pot it in a separate pot and get the variegation to continue. Same thing has happened in my Crimson Princess, right? This has never been good for me. For 2 years it has been struggling. This is the last time I will be trying this, and I have only the variegated leaves planted as per however limited amounts of variegation I had. And the 2 new leaves you see, the smallest, they are showing good promise to continue the variegation. However, if the variegation does not continue, I will throw this away and buy a new specimen. Easy as that, because Crimson Queen, you guys know, you can find at Lowe's or anywhere else. It's freely available and it's cheap also because it's a very common Hoya. So guys, high nitrogen fertilizers are only to be used in extreme damage control time, where your plant is stagnant of growing, or if your leaves are turning slightly sunburnt or yellow. However, if you can see less and less of chlorophyll in your vine, and that's what I did with my Hoya carnosa. After its repotting, it stress bloomed with 13 panicles reactivating, and then the plant did nothing, absolutely nothing, no new leaves. And on top of that, the topmost leaves, because it's been hit with the direct sun, was turning light green and almost light yellow. That is where I brought in a high nitrogen fertilizer and sprayed it. Voila, I'm seeing new leaves. So as a quick jolt to your Hoya vine, you can use a high fertilizer. It's not only high nitrogen, you can use the next component high, which is P from NPK, the middle component high, when you want more roots in your vine. If you are seeing that it is not rooting properly, you can use a 10-52-10 or any other fertilizer with the middle digit high. And if you want a bloom booster, you can go for a P high, that is potassium, whether it's 114 or 44 plus or 10-10-40, like that. However it is, the potassium is high. That is a bloom booster that will give you flowers if your plant has not been flowering for so long. Here's how I use high fertilizers when I absolutely need it. Let's say I need flowers and that I have a bloom booster in my hands. What I would do is, just twice I would spray that bloom booster to the specification, the absolute specification of the bottle, or a little bit more. Now my fertilizer bottle is of 2 liters. If you are supposed to mix in 1 teaspoon of fertilizer for 1 liter, and I will have to mix in 2 teaspoons for my 2 liter bottle. But here what I will do is to mix in 3 teaspoons to my 2 liter fertilizer bottle and spray. If I spray it today, I will spray it once more again in 4 to 5 days, and that's it. You can also spray it again within a week's time too, but you have to stop there. You are just giving it a small push, and I am talking from my own experience, so therefore do not quote me anywhere. This is just a trick that I use. However, even though I did not use it for my Hoya carnosa, it stress bloomed. And this is a trick you can use as a sudden jolt for your plant in the situation that you are facing at that time. Whether it's stunted growth or low roots or no blooms. And I finally highly advise you not to go with high component fertilizers, whether it's high nitrogen, high potassium or a high phosphorus fertilizer, if it is not absolutely necessary and you need to jumpstart your plant in something that you want it to do. Because when I mentioned you 10-52-10 or 30-10-10 or a bloom booster, what I wanted to also stress was that the other 2 components are way low in that fertilizer bottle. As an example, if you take 10-52-10, you can see how 10s are way less than a 52. 52 is so high than a 10. So however, whatever the digits would say, what it shows to you is it is drastically higher than the other 2 components. Sometimes you will see a low nitrogen but phosphorus and potassium high, which is a definite bloom booster that you will only use when you need your plant to bloom. But if your plant is malnourished or with 2 or 3 leaves, you obviously cannot push it to bloom, because your wine does not own the sufficient amount of energies to support the activated pinnacle. So guys, I will end the video here, advising you guys to be very careful when you are using high component fertilizers, high nitrogen, high phosphorus or high potassium. Try to use a balanced fertilizer, whether it's MSU, rain mix or any other fertilizer in the market, which will help your wine to keep its overall health intact. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.